Bringing it down some more. All right, straight right there. I can bring it down some more. Hey, shalom, shalom, brother. All right, how about you? All right. Yep. All right, shalom, shalom. We're the brothers of the Great Millstone Camp in Charleston. All right, back again another week to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, which is America, Babylon the Great in the scriptures. Without further ado, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessing to the brothers pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. So, and shalom to the brothers and sisters, the hopeful elect. So in this one, all right, this camp, all right, it's titled Through the Spirit because there's a few things to talk about. One in particular is what's going on in Israel today. What's going on in Israel today is basically what happened with 9/11 and what was it? It was 2001? Yeah. 9/11 in 2001. These false flags. We told you that these false flags was going to come in order for the elites to start war. Now, this one is two minor nations. Well, Israel, the state of Israel isn't a minor nation when it comes to the grand scheme of things, but Palestine or Hamas, that's a minor nation, a minor government, all right? But the scriptures say in Jeremiah 50 that the least of the flock shall draw them out. And that's what Israel's doing. See, with Israel, a lot of allies to Hamas, a lot of allies that are against America and the state of Israel are rallying together to speak against what's going on with this war in the what's it called? The Strip, Gaza Strip. There's war in the Gaza Strip. And even the UN is speaking out against the war in the Gaza Strip, saying that, all right, the people can't evacuate. Israel's order for the Gazans to evacuate, they can't do that. They have no means of evacuation. So what's going to end up happening is the civilians are going to get caught up in the destruction of that place. And this is what Hamas does anyway. They hide amongst civilians so that they can't get captured, they can't get killed. You know, they'll send a missile over to Israel, and then Israel will target them back. But if it's a civilian building, they can't really shoot down that building like they would if it was a enemy, like if it was riddled with enemies. So they spread out throughout the Gaza Strip, and they occupy civilian territories. That way they can't get attacked. But that's beyond the point. The point is that this is a 9/11 type deal. And with 9/11, all right, it was set up from the elites. It was set up for that to happen. It was foretold that was going to happen. You got Simpsons. All right, the Simpsons. There's other things that foretold that was going to happen. So why was that? All right, it was to get the nation to go to war. All right, so Israel's bringing war upon Gaza Strip, and which is going to further increase the tensions between the nations, because there's a lot of nations that recognize Palestine as a nation. They recognize Palestine as a sovereign nation and as a sovereign people. All right, and then encroaching on Palestine is going to further the tensions between the bordering nations. All right. Let's get well, Jeremiah 50.
This is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 17. I'm gonna start up a little bit.
Hold on. All right, get 49. You got it.
It says, "Also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by." I'm starting up a little bit. It
You
said,
got it.
Jeremiah 49, verse 17. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Verse 19, here's the point. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. But I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time? Now the point is in verse 20, Salakia. And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them.
All right, read that again up.
All right, this is Jeremiah 49, verse 20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them.
That's right. So the least of flock being Israel. Israel, the state of Israel, all right, that being the small nation of people, right? And it being the least of the nations, right? All the nations, all of the Edomite nations, what do they do when it comes to the state of Israel? They protect it. You go into Great Britain, the Balfour Declaration. You got America sending aid. All right, they sending missiles or missile defense systems to Israel to protect them against Hamas, rocket fire. You got NATO, all NATO allies. They help Israel. All right. So this least of the flock is drawing the rest of the nations into their conflict. If it's a state of Israel conflict, it's a world's conflict. So if the state of Israel goes into war with Iran and Russia and all these other nations, what's going to happen? NATO and the EU are going to have to get involved with that war. All right? Hey, shalom to the brother, GMS Truth in Orlando. Shalom, bro. So all these nations are going to get involved. Why? Because of Israel, the state of Israel. And why is that? Because the elites of Esau use the state of Israel as the beacon. They're involved in the state of Israel. The state of Israel controls what goes on around the world from that point. All right, now U.S. is the military force. All right, we got what's the spiritual force? That's the Vatican, right? The false prophet. And what's the monetary force? You got the London. But when it comes to the world elites, they beacon themselves. All right, they want the state of Israel to be their capital. Why is that? So that they could say and perpetrate that they are the people of the Lord. Because this is all about the birthright that was given unto Jacob. All right, they want to say that they're the people of. They want to say that they're Jacob. They want to take. They want to do away with the real descendants of Jacob and make themselves that. Esau's trying to take back his birthright. That's as simple as it is. And can you get scriptures on that? So reread that just to get the point again. The last portion up.
All right, reading the last portion of Jeremiah 49, verse 20. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them.
Go ahead, keep going.
The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman and her pangs.
That's right. So what's going to happen? All right, Yahweh Bashim outside. All right, he's going to come into the Middle East. That's when he comes. When this world is in conflict in the Middle East, right? And it's going to involve the state of Israel. State of Israel, Iran, all these countries in the east, right? The Valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, the Valley of Decision. That's where this war is going to take place. And he's going to show up there and destroy these nations and their militaries. All right, and all that's for the conflict of Israel. Not just because of the how would I say it, the atrocities that were perpetrated against us, but for the blasphemy, right? And for the act of trying to be the chosen people, trying to be God. All right, they want to be Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. All right. Let's get Ezekiel. Let's get Ezekiel 38. Because it's going to tell you. It's going to tell you what nations who are risen up into the Valley of Jehoshaphat, this Middle East, this conflict in the Middle East. And we're not saying that this petty war, I'm calling it a petty war in the state of Israel. We're not saying this petty war is going to lead to World War III, but it doesn't, how do I say it? It only escalates the tensions between the nations. It's not going to ultimately lead to, we're not saying it's ultimately leading to World War III, but it's going to escalate the tensions. That's going to lead to World War III. All right, people are getting sick and tired of the state of Israel. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are protesting and rioting because of this. You know, this second time in 3 years that the whole world's been revolved around the state of Israel. You remember when Hamas was shooting those bombs a couple years ago? Everybody was just fascinated in what was going on, even though it was going on for the last, 20 years? You know? But tensions are escalating. People are dying. They said over 300,000 people are being displaced in the Gaza Strip. 300,000 people have to seek refuge in another land. And they got nowhere to go. And if the state of Israel continues their attack, continues their operation, then these 300,000 people, these 300,000 lives might be lost. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Because Iran's going to pay attention. Russia's going to pay attention. Saudi Arabia is going to have to pay attention. These smaller nations that surround Israel are going to pay attention. And the fact that the UN isn't doing anything to civilian lives, all right, that's a big slap in the face to the world, because the UN is supposed to be for the nations being together, the unity of the nations. It's supposed to be part of that beast, right? Which has a grip on the whole world. All right. Now, if these nations come up and say, man, screw the UN, we're doing our own thing. Now this beast no longer has a grip on the world. And then Revelation 13 goes into place. Revelation 13, let's get that real quick. We got Ezekiel 38, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Let's read that first.
All right. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal.
I know we read this all the time. Gog and Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, that's Russia. All right, so, hey, it's telling the prophets to set the face against Russia. Now the Lord is against Russia. Just because the Lord is using Russia to go against this beast, I mean, not the beast, the 7 heads and 10 horns with New World Order. Just because the Lord is using Russia to go against it, doesn't mean that the Lord is for Russia. The Lord isn't for Russia. The Lord is for Israel. Go ahead, up.
Ezekiel 38 and 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal.
That's right.
And prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal.
That's right. So the Lord says, I am against thee. Go ahead.
And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
So the Lord's going to put hooks into Russia's jaws, right? And what is he going to do?
And I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
That's right. So the Lord's going to bring Russia's armies. And it's not just Russia's army. It's going to be his allies' armies as well. They're going to come together as a great army of people, man. Coming against the 7 heads and 10 horns, coming against this new world order. Coming against NATO and the EU. So obviously NATO and the EU is going to be involved in that, in the Middle East, because they're going to have to protect their counterparts, which is the state of Israel. And Russia's going to be involved. The Lord's going to put Russia involved. Why? You got it out.
Verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them.
So these are the allies. Go ahead.
All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands.
Yep.
The house of Togarmah of the north quarters.
And it's funny, it says Togarmah, because Turkey, that's Turkey. Now Togarmah, which is Turkey, they're a part of NATO. No, hold up. Is it NATO or they're a part of the EU? I believe it's NATO. I believe they're a part of NATO. So right now they're a part of NATO, but it tells you that the ally to Russia is going to be Togarmah, which is Turkey. So we know that through prophecy, Turkey's going to leave the NATO and the EU, or NATO. Now, what's going on right now in the Gaza Strip? People are being mercilessly killed. And I say it like that for a dramatic effect. Because at the end of the day, hey, the other people in this world is like spittle unto the Lord. All right, people are being mercilessly killed. I say that for the sakes of the other people, man, who don't understand. Because that's what they'll be thinking. That's what the Turkish people will be thinking. All right, 300,000 Gazans are mercilessly being killed over there, the civilians. You know, they're going to see that and they're going to say, there's no way I can side with the state of Israel. And might be the ultimate time for them to defect onto the Russian side. Now, we know that Russia's been supplying them weapons and stuff like that. So NATO was set up to go against the USSR. And that's the Soviet Union. Now Russia is rising up again and they're bringing back the Soviet Union. You see what they're doing in Ukraine? You know why they're doing that? Because Ukraine has large grain fields. All right, they need those they need that grain to supply their people. All right, and ultimately they're going to consume Ukraine into Russia. Because Ukraine was once part of the Soviet Union. And even half of the people in Ukraine still believe that they're Russians. They still side with the fact that, no, they still agree with Russia. You know? I forgot what they were called. They got a name for the ones that they support Russia. And they actually fight on the front lines with the Russian troops against Ukrainian troops. I forgot what they were called, but that's what's going on. The Soviet Union is rebuilding itself back up. So it can be that the foot of the beast that makes the 7 heads and 10 horns fall. Now, I'm trying to put it all together. So Turkey's going to side with Russia. And it's going to coincide with the scriptures. You got it up.
Verse 5, Gomor and all his bands,
Yep.
the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with him. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself,
Yep.
thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
So, and what's happening between Russia, China, South Africa, all these, Brazil, all these nations? What's happening? They're developing a new currency for the rest of the world. So either the world's going to be on the central bank and digital currency, or they're going to be on this BRICS currency. All right, they're fighting for power, and the power is monetary. So eventually it's going to get to that anyway, because, you know, Esau in his pride is, hey, what does Esau say in his pride? He says, there's no one with me. I am, and there's no one above me, something like that. So Esau, hey, there can't be two of us in this world. That's what Esau is. You go back into Amalek, the chief tribe of Edom, which is now the state of Israel. They now make up the state of Israel. So this is why the elites are in the state of Israel. They control from the state of Israel. All right, because Amalek is that chief tribe. You got it?
Which one?
I am, and there's no one with me, something like that. Oh, it's all good. Let's get Revelation 13.
All right, this is Revelation 13, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns.
No, actually, Salakia, go up to 13.
All right, this is verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
That's right.
Saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
That's right. So at that time, when these nations come against each other, that's going to be that time. When they go to war against each other, they cause any that should not worship the image of the beast to be killed. All right, when Russia wants to set up their own currency, and then the NATO and the EU wants to set up their currency, it's going to be a conflict of interest there. All right, and they're going to go to war for control over the world. But meanwhile, the Lord is making this happen anyway. All right, you go back to Isaiah 34. He says his plan is to gather the nations. All right, to bring them into Valley of Jehoshaphat. Brother, you got that?
Isaiah 34.
I think it's Isaiah 34. I believe it's Isaiah 34.
I think it's Zechariah. I might be wrong.
Just say gather the nations.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah. This Isaiah 34. This is Isaiah 34 and 1. It says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter."
That's right. So the Lord is ultimately making a big sacrifice. All things are moving towards the Lord's plan. So prophecy is in motion right now. But the rest of the world, will they see it? Will they understand it? The prophets is going to understand it, and those that adhere the prophets, they're going to understand. All right, they're going to believe, they're going to have faith and do what that faith entails, right? If the word tells you to do this, then you will do it. If the word tells you not to do this, then you're going to do it. That's the faith, right? Because James says, I show you my faith by my works. Faith without works is dead. So if you have faith and the word tells you to do something, you're going to do it based on faith. Let's go ahead, Art.
It says, verse 2, "For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter."
That's right. The Lord delivered them to the slaughter. So we know this is for the purpose of the Lord, because these nations violated. These nations consented together to put Israel away, to keep us from being a people, to hold us back in sin and wickedness. All right, and they also blaspheme the Lord. All right, they have Esau made them commit fornication. All right, well, he made the nations to drunken. You got it.
It says, "Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. And the mountain shall be melted with their blood, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse, to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea."
Now that's one What you got? Bring it
I
out.
got the different.
Bring it out.
The elder put a comment on the comment board, and I got the precept.
All right, Con.
This is from the elder Manata Zaba, Shalom elder. It says, in the aftermath of the Second World War, Turkey made the historic choice of siding with the free world and the Western Bloc. This policy was led Turkey to become member of NATO on the 18th of February 1952.
That's right. That's right. So Turkey is sided with the Western Bloc against the Soviet Union. I think the Soviet Union, they finally was destroyed, or they finally collapsed. I believe it was in the 1970s. 1970s, I could be wrong, could be the 80s, but around that time, the Soviet Union collapsed. And Turkey remained with remained with NATO. But now in this time period, Turkey is going to leave NATO pursuant to the scriptures. They're going to side with Russia, right? They have a close relationship with Russia. Why is that? Because they're right next to Russia, man. They're right next to Russia and China. So how are they going to be a part of NATO and go against Russia and China when they're right next to them? And Russia and China, they're equipped for war. There's been many warnings that the Chinese government has given out to its people to stay away from America, that we're ready for war. Russia is the same way. They've given out many warnings that they're prepared for war. All right? And that America will not win against them if they fought them. Saudi Arabia is in there. You think Saudi Arabia is going to side with America while they're in the East with all of the, how to say it, with all of their counterparts in the East that's against America, and not just America, but the NATO and the EU? No, they're not. They're giving cheap oil, but that's all. The military aid's going to Russia. You got countries like Libya. All right, you got Ethiopia, right? And Ethiopia, I said this in one camp, Ethiopia was a large portion of Africa. All right, the Greeks would call Ethiopia, Ethiopia used to be mostly the whole east coast of Africa, besides Egypt. And then they used to call it Western Ethiopia, which was the western part, which was like from Morocco. There's another country, I'm forgetting that country's name. But it was down there above the Gold Coast, above the Western Africa, the part that that we came from, that we were delivered from. I'm forgetting that country's name, man.
Ivory Coast.
It's not Ivory Coast. That's where we come from, but not where we come from, but where they took us from.
Yeah.
But there's a country. It's the northern part of the West Coast. They call it the Western Ethiopia. They'll call it Ethiops. That's what they call it. The Greeks call it the Ethiops, which is Ethiopia. So when it talks about Ethiopia, it's talking about a large faction of Africa. It's not just one part of Africa, the parts of the Middle East. It's mostly all of Africa. You got South Africa aligning themselves with BRICS, right? And what are they doing? They're getting out these Edomites out their nation. They're getting these Edomites out their nation. So all these nations are rising up right now. And it's all pursuant to the scripture, to prophecy.
I got
what you got?
I got what you called for.
Con.
All right, this is Zephaniah 3, verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh.
That's it.
Until the day that I rise up to the prey.
And it's very important. when we see prophecies in motion, that should further our faith. That we can sit back and be like, hey, the Lord is working. So all those camps that say, oh, we gotta protect the block, we gotta get our weapons, people that say being peaceful, being on the highways and byways ain't peaceful, bro. As much as people want to say like you docile, you this, you that, this ain't peaceful. All right. Apostle John, he was sent to the Isle of Patmos, because of this, and it was called treasonous. At one point in America, all right, pretty soon, it's going to be treasonous for us to be out here and speak against this place, man. To speak against the country that you're inhabiting, all right, that's treasonous. That's what they're going to call us. They're going to call us
Domestic.
terrorists.
Yeah.
They're going to call us terrorists, man. These people are terrorizing the people. And that's what the scripture said the prophets would do. Right?
It says, for my determination is to gather the nations.
So his determination is to gather the nations. Where?
That I may assemble the kingdoms
Uh-huh.
to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
So all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Let's get Psalms 83. This is one explanation for why the Lord is bringing all these nations into this conflict to punish them. You got something, brother?
Oh no, I'm pulling up Psalms 83.
You got Con, bring it up.
Going from the top.
Yeah, you can start from the top. It's all good.
Psalms 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Lord. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up thy head. Lifted up their head.
Uh-huh.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That's right. So, what is Israel called? What is Yahweh Bashim Yahshai's sentimental name for Israel? Y'all brothers guess. Just guess. I mean, there's many, but I'm looking for one in particular. Sentimental name for Israel.
Principal power.
No, that's not the one I'm looking for.
Or sons of God.
Nope, that's not the one I'm looking for. One in particular, they always call them a mountain.
Zion?
Huh? Zion. That's it, man.
Okay.
And what does Zion mean?
Monument
Monument. Monument for what?
of the Lord.
It's a monument to the Lord. So when you putting Israel off from being a people, taking them from being a people, what's going to happen? They're gonna take away the remembrance of the Lord. They're gonna take away the Lord from the world. So it's not just a rebellion against the Lord's people, it's a rebellion against the Lord. Because the Lord's people are supposed to what? They're the shepherds of the earth, right? They're supposed to they're the real rulers of the earth. They're supposed to arrange the earth as it is in heaven. Be a monument to the Lord. For the Lord. So when you you put them off from being a people, you're rebelling against the Heavenly Father as well. So this is one of the reasons why the Lord is angry with these nations, man. Because all the worship is going to who? This damn Edomite. They worship this damn Edomite and these idols. Go ahead, up.
Psalms 83 and verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Sure.
So, hey, all the nations, man, on both sides of the conflict, the Lord is against. Let's get Revelation 17, man. Because if we're going to prove that it's Esau. Esau is the one that they truly worship. Is the one that they truly consent to. See, they don't consent to the Lord. That's why the Lord has to destroy them. Has to destroy their nations, has to destroy their governments. Destroy their lands. And he's going to rebuild with the nation of Israel in rulership. You got it?
From the top.
Yep, from the top.
All right, this is Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither.
So this is right there, right before the end. All right? Or if you want to say it jumps from 1,000-year periods, but it's getting towards the end, man. You got it, bro.
I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
That's right. So all these nations worshipped her. All right, even Esdras, I'm not Esdras, but even John almost marveled at this woman. He was like, I don't know how to, damn, she's fair. You know how they say it back then. Even Apostle John the Revelator almost marveled. All right? And the angels like, marvel not. Marvel not. Go ahead.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her...
What's that? What did it say? Blood of martyrs of Yahushua. Witnesses to Yahushua. So, what's that mean? It's trying to destroy the word of the Lord from being on the earth. This is all over again. We're talking about the Tower of Babel. All over again. That's the New World Order. You got it.
Revelation 17:6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
Yeah, he was like, this woman, how powerful is she? Who can come up against her? You got it, bro.
And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world.
So what does that wonder, man? You could replace that word wonder with worship. They that were not written in the book of life, they're going to worship this woman, which is this beast, which is part of this beast, which is sitting on top of the beast, man. they're going to worship this woman. And this is what we see from these nations. All right, even the nations in that ally with Russia, what are they doing? They're getting inside of Edomite conflict. They're putting themselves inside of Edomite conflict. This ain't nothing but Revelation. What was it? 3 and 6, as they've been given power to kill each other. So that's they've been given the sword. Yeah, Revelation 6. You got it. Revelation 6. They've been given power to kill each other and to take peace from the earth. And that's what they have been doing. And these other nations worship her because there's power in death. You know what I'm saying? There's power in death. So with that power in death, these nations, they don't want to be destroyed. They don't want to be put out. So they what do? They follow her decrees. They follow her philosophies, counsel. All right, because they don't want to be put away. But the nation of Israel, Israel, is built on faith that we're going to conquer death, right? Where does it say death wears thy sting? That's Revelation 21? Corinthians? Let's get that real quick. Because we're not worried about death. We're not worried about death because we have a greater power than that. See, these other nations, they worry about death. That's the greatest form of power that they know. Because it's carnal. And what's carnal? What does carnal lead to? Carnality.
Death.
It leads to death. Because they're carnal, they believe that death is the greatest power on the earth. So the man that can bring death to them is Esau Edom. So we have to obey, or otherwise we get put to death.
And it says, if I may add real quick, it says, "Fear not him that can kill the body."
That's right.
But fear him that can kill the body and soul.
Exactly.
Paraphrasing.
Exactly. Because our spirit is eternal.
Right.
And when we understand that, hey, we have, we're free. You know, we're one step closer to being sovereign, man. All right, the next step is having Yahweh Shai redeem us, like he's going to. We got to be here for that. We got to remain and endure with faith to do that. And that's going to be the greatest feat of your life. But there's brothers destined for that to happen. There's brothers destined to go through that feat and conquer death. You know, you want to be one of those brothers. You want to be one of those men. Be in this truth, to have this knowledge, you want to be one of those men. And this is what Paul, this is what James, this is what Peter, this is what all the apostles talked about. Even Yahweh Shai himself, this is what they all talked about in the scriptures. Conquering that carnality and getting in the spirit, because what? The spirit is what? Eternal. The spirit is life. We got it? Salakia. Let's get Lamentations 2 and 15. The brother brought that out on the scripture. On the comment board.
All right,
Shalom to the brothers, all the brothers on the comment board. Yahweh Shemel Shabbat.
All right, this is Shapa of the 12, Lamentations 2 and 15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem.
That's right. So they all were partakers in bringing Israel down, keeping Israel down. You know, they call you all sorts of names. You know, they consent to slavery. Man, if they could have slavery back without there being any pushback, they would. They would put us back in slavery and mock us. But the Lord has his spirit on the earth, contending with them. All right, he's making it so that even some of these Edomites, they're having a soft heart towards Israel. We know the scriptures to back that up. All right, what's this? I'm forgetting the paraphrase, but y'all know the scripture to back that up, where the Edomites are soft-hearted. They would show favor towards Israel, seek to please the poor. That's right. They shall seek to please the poor. So we seen the Lord's Spirit in effect right here. And this is the time period for the word to be brought out. All right, this is the time period for the word to be brought throughout the four corners of the earth. And right after that, there's going to be a famine of the word. And we know when that famine of the word hits, that Yahushua is soon to come. All right, he's soon to come now, but he's even sooner to come when that famine of the word hits. Brothers are going to be happy when the famine of the word hits, man. They're going to be happy, nervous, but they're going to be ready to roll. Let's get this thing on. Let's do what we got to do. Because when all the mundane stuff in life, when all that stuff phased out, you don't have to go to work. You don't have to pay rent, pay bills, this and the third. It's nothing but survival. Your survival instincts and the wisdom that you have from the laws, from the scriptures, the law, statutes, commandments, all of the scriptures. That's what's going to take effect. Brothers going to be locked and loaded, ready. But there's going to be plenty of people who won't be ready, right? What's the scripture? Isaiah, what is it, 30 and 6?
33:6.
33 and 6. Let's read, I'll get it real quick. To back up what I'm saying. Yeah, come on. You got it?
Yeah, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation."
That's right. So we're getting on a time period where the Lord is about to put things in motion. All right? Jacob's trouble is about to be brought to the earth. And you're going to need this knowledge to be stable in that time. Because you're going to have no means of getting food. You're going to have no means. As far as what Esau controls, right? If you're not going to take the mark, if you're not going to take the MOTB, you ain't going to have no means of getting food. You ain't going to have no means of transportation. Or you might get chased out of the city because, they looking for people who are not chipped. We're going to have to be pilgrims upon the earth. But what you going to have? You're going to have the wisdom and knowledge. It's going to make you stable. You're going to have the faith. That's going to make you stable. And everyone else who don't have it, are they going to either go to these FEMA camps and say, I need aid, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. It's going to be like too late. You go into this concentration camp, this labor camp, this, that, and the third. You should have took it before. Now we know you're rebellious, so you can't take it. We're not giving you the opportunity to take it now. You go into a labor camp, concentration camp, this, that, and the third, where you're going to be fed daily rations so that you can do the work that you need to do. And remember, you go back to Ezekiel, he had to live off daily rations. I think it was 3 years that he had to live off that. Because he was prophesying the famine in the land of Israel. There's going to be another famine like that, where only the government is going to have access to food. All right, let's keep going.
All right. Back in Lamentations 2:15. All that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hissed and wagged their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?
So, and that's what they say now. There's no way these are the people. You know, when brothers say we are the people, there's no way you are the people. What are you talking about? And back then, when we were first supplanted by Esau, that's what they were saying. They carried us around like trophies, man. The Atlantic slave trade, you go into the history of Atlantic slave trade, they made these people travel to all parts of Esau's kingdom. They went to France, they went to Belgium, they went to all parts. Britain. And then they were shipped over to the west coast of Africa. They were shipped over to America. They were shipped over to South America. We were a trophy. We were a trophy to Esau, man. And they all looked at us like, there's no way these are the people. You go back in time where we were enslaved to these other nations like Moab. They spoke against us. All right, but the Lord's gonna have his last. He's gonna have the last laugh, right? Isn't that what Isaac's name is? He who laughs last, right? The children of Isaac. We're the children of Isaac through Jacob. He who laughs last. You got it, bro.
Verse 16. All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it.
Where were we at? We were still on Revelation 17, right?
Here.
You still remember where you left off?
Yeah, Revelation 17. I had called the Corinthians real quick too, but let me jump back.
Yeah.
Verse 2.
Yeah, Revelation.
Yeah.
Revelation. All right. So back in Revelation, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 17.
Actually, you can stop right there, man. Oh, actually, keep going. Keep going. Stop at... Yeah, you can stop at 18. Yeah, that's it. You got it, bro.
This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 8. The beast that thou sawest, was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they beheld the beast that was and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom, that had 7 heads and 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
That's right. So it's talking about the five nations before Britain. All right, Britain is the one that read that again. I believe it's talking about Britain, the one that continued for a short space. Go ahead, bro.
It says, and here is Revelation 17 and 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom, the 7 heads and 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
That's right. So Britain being the eighth, right? There were seven heads, the 7 kings, 7 kingdoms. All right. Britain was the eighth. All right, and it had not come yet.
Oh, so it's like your brothers America. Continue the short space. The 7th would be Britain,
Yeah.
and then 8th would be America.
No, you're right. You're right. The 7th will be Britain, and then the 8th will be America. Go ahead.
And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition.
That's right.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
That's right. So this is what we're dealing with right now. This is that 1 hour that we're in right now. All right, the 7 heads and 10 horns. We're in this beast. We're in this the reign of the beast right now. Go ahead.
These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
Mm-hmm.
These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them.
And who's the Lamb? We all know who the Lamb is. The Lamb is Yahweh. Right? Go ahead.
For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, and peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
So ultimately, the nations, all right, the nations that were gathered together with America, is going to make her desolate. That's what's going to happen. But first, the Lord is going to destroy these nations' armies. And all they're going to have left is these missiles, these ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles, these nuclear warheads. That's all they're going to have left. They're going to say, America, you destroyed us. You destroyed us because of the conflicts that you had us in. All right, we told you not to mess with Russia. We told you that, we was fine with Russia taking the Ukraine. Because if you look at it now, America's pressuring the rest of the EU to intervene with Ukraine. I think it's America, and I think it's also France. They're the main ones pushing to intervene in Ukraine, while the rest of the EU nations, they're like, I don't want to get involved. There's no reason for us to get involved. That's why Zelensky, which is the president of Ukraine, he has to go and but request aid, and make it seem like this is a big war. This is big for the entire world, that Ukraine must not be taken. He has to make it seem like Russia's gathering nuclear weaponry that goes against the treaty that you guys signed to denuclearize, which all nations are ramping up their stockpiles when it comes to nuclear warheads, the enrichment of uranium. All nations are doing that. Yeah, it's not just Russia. I'm pretty sure Russia's doing it. They have huge military bases underground. It's like a mile deep underground. It's crazy, man, what Esau did with his infrastructure. But it's not Iran's doing it as well. Every nation is ramping up for war. And this is how we get the, 200 million missiles? Where that coming from? if everybody's denuclearization, they're a part of this denuclearization pact. Where's all these this 200 million missiles coming from? You know what I'm saying? Everybody stockpiling on the low. You know, I got re-up, bro. Everybody getting ready for the war. You know, so Ukraine's trying to make it sound like Russia's violating major humanitarian rights, but that's not what's happening.
If I may add real quick.
But they hold on. But the EU is still like most of the EU nations are like, listen, we don't care what you say. We're not trying to really get involved like that. You know, we're not really trying to get involved. If we get involved, Russia's going to target us with their spies and their jackals. You know, and this, that, and the third. We're not trying to. We too close to Russia. See, America, they can say that. Well, it's 6,000, 5,000 miles away. You guys got it easy. Y'all 5,000 miles away. We right next to these fools. They give us cheap oil. You know, we get cheap oil from them. We get cheap grain. You want us to stop all that? You're going to destroy our economies. You got it?
No, I was going to add real quick. If I'm not mistaken, Ukraine was originally part of Russia. You know.
Right. Soviet Union.
Yeah. You know, and that has to be fulfilled. Where Ukraine goes back to Russia. That's a part of putting thy hook into thy jaws.
It's a part of Gog and Magog.
Right.
Because that land right there, that was Ukraine and Russia.
Right.
That was the Soviet Union. You know? You got it.
So what the Lord is doing is establishing prophecy.
So it doesn't just say Gog, and it doesn't just say Magog. It says Gog and Magog, the chief prince of Tubal, of Meshach and Tubal. So we got all those lands right here. That's the entity that the Lord's going to put hooks in the jaws of to bring them to war. And it's not just them. Let's get Ezekiel 29. It's not just them. It's going to be the nations that surround them, their allies, their counterparts. It's going to be a big deal. The Lord is doing a big, how would I say, man? I don't know, man. The Lord's making big moves here, man.
Stirring the pot.
That's right. Go ahead, you got it.
I mean, the point is, you know, it's all a part of prophecy. And, you know, that's what these Christians, that's what these other Hebrew Israelite groups don't understand. You know, like the brother mentioned, they're carnal. You know, the natural man doesn't understand spiritual things because the Lord is not dealing with them. And again, to understand the full understanding of the scriptures, you have to have the proper names, the proper doctrine, the 100% truth.
That's right. Names ain't no Aber, Matthew, wherever the hell. Hey man, listen. Y'all don't want to be a brother that that lost the spirit, man. That's an ugly thing. That's so ugly, man. When you lose the spirit and how dark you become, how wicked. That's why the Lord is all about sincerity, man. He's all about sincerity and accountability. That's why men are about accountability and sincerity, man. The more sincere and accountable you are when it comes to this truth, the better you'll be. If you're not sincere and accountable, you're wicked. And that wicked and seducing spirit is going to grow. It's going to grow, and it's going to grow, and it's going to eat you alive. Until you're revealed, and everybody can see that you're just a vessel fit for destruction. You're just one of those vessels that's fit for destruction. What's going on right now, the Lord is doing a major work on some men that used to be called brothers. The Lord is doing a major work in the earth with these current events, with these foreign affairs. He's doing amazing earth in the spirit of the people, because they're constantly backsliding. Salaki, not backsliding, because we've been backslid. They're constantly being degenerate. I can't think of a better word, but they're just nasty. You know, you got men wanting to change. You know, men wanting to cut off their own rods, man. That's when we going crazy, man. And people normalizing it. That's when the world's going crazy.
Right.
You got women wanting to cut off, you know, their body parts to grow beards and shit. You got men acting effeminate. They trying to get with women who are masculine. Y'all seen that?
I saw that.
It's fucking disgusting, bro. Men, an effeminate woman want to be with an effeminate man want to be with a masculine woman. This is what Esau promotes in the earth. And the fact that Israel is even in conflict shows you that they're not the people. Because if they were the people, it would be peace. It would be peace. But yet Vocab Malone, he wants to what's that word that I always use? It's not plausible deniability. But he's got cognitive dissonance. He wants to use that. He wants to use cognitive dissonance to act like the scriptures ain't saying what it's saying towards the people when it comes to prophecy. He wants to still make it out that these are the people.
Right.
You know, it ain't plausible. Nothing what he believed is plausible. Because if he truly believed it, he's not believing in the scriptures. That's one. It's not the scriptures that he believes. It's probably the Talmud or some shit.
Right.
What we was holding?
And shalom to the brother you want. Shalom, brother.
Shalom to that brother. Yahweh Shem Yashar Barakatah. Ezekiel 29?
Brother said it.
You had something to say, bro?
No. You said everything. You said it perfectly.
Ezekiel 29, I believe you start at 1.
Yeah. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 29, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
In the 10th year, in the 10th month, in the 12th day of the month, in the 12th day of the month, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Pharaoh, king of Egypt,
That's right.
and prophesy against him and against all Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Speak and say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
That's right. So what does this sound like? This sounds like Isaiah 37. It was 38, Salaki. This sounds like Isaiah 38. Like he says, Gog and Magog, I'm against thee. You know, go ahead. You got it, bro.
It says, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers, which hath said, My river is mine own, I have made it for myself. But I will put hooks in thy jaws, and will cause the fish of thy rivers to stick unto thy scales.
Now, what's happening now? The Lord's putting hooks into thy jaws. That still sounds like Isaiah 38. All right. Can you read that one again, that verse again?
Yeah, the book of Ezekiel chapter 29, verse 4. But I will put hooks into thy jaws, and I will cause the fish of thy rivers to stick unto thy scales.
That's right. And what does the waters refer to as? The people. So what is the rivers? What is the scales? Hold up. The fishes of the rivers to hook to be hooked to thy scales. Read that part again, up.
Yep. Ezekiel 29:4. But I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will cause the fish of thy rivers to stick unto thy scales.
That's right. So it's referring to the people, the nations, the armies. All right, the military might. You got it, bro.
And I will bring thee up out of the midst of thy rivers, and all the fish of thy rivers shall stick unto thy scales. And I will leave thee thrown into the wilderness, thee and all the fish of thy rivers. Thou shalt fall upon open fields. Thou shalt not be brought together, nor gathered. I have given thee for meat to the beasts of the field, and to the fowls of the heaven.
That's right. So what does it sound like? This sounds exactly like Ezekiel 38. This is the Lord bringing these nations, right? Bringing Russia and their allies and America and their allies to be what? To be for sacrifice. This is what's going on. This is what the Lord is planning. This is what his purpose is. All right, let's get back to Zechariah 3.
This is Zephaniah 3, verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Now, I didn't completely break down Ezekiel 29. I believe that the Pharaoh of Egypt is referred to America, Babylon the Great, because it's surrounded by rivers, right? And this is, America is the land surrounded by, what's it called? Well, in Ezekiel it says the dragon surrounded by many rivers. So America is a land surrounded by the waters. So I believe it's speaking towards America, being that king of Babylon. King of Babylon, Pharaoh of Egypt, same thing. So it's referring to America, Babylon the Great, being risen up with their allies to what? To the valley of Jehoshaphat, to the battle of Armageddon. To what? To be destroyed. In Ezekiel 38, it talks about Russia and his allies, Gog and Magog, being led to the valley of Jehoshaphat to be destroyed. And it's all for the purpose of being a sacrifice for the Lord. Right. The Lord has to take these powers out of the earth so he can be the main power, so he can establish righteousness upon the earth. So this is what's happening. The Lord is referencing both sides of the battle. He's on neither side. See, Vocab Malone, he can read King of Egypt, or no, Pharaoh of Egypt, and he'll say, well, that was during the Exodus. That was during Exodus. That wasn't during Exodus that happened. It wasn't during Exodus that happened. That's going to happen in America. That's going to happen with America, Babylon the Great. The king of Babylon, Egypt. The place that was called Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? What you got?
I got something real quick. Proverbs 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
That's right. So, if you were to jump into a river, I'm going to use this analogy. If you were to jump into a river and the current is strong, it doesn't matter how great of a swimmer you are, you ain't gonna overtake that current. Your best bet is try to ride that current and hopefully that current gets to the edge so you can latch on to something. But if that current sweeps you away, it's gonna sweep you away. There's no power you have in your hand to do anything about it. You can't stop the current. You can't you can't swim against the current. So this is where it's talking about as the rivers, the Most High turneth man in the way that he should go.
Right.
So men, they'll try to come against what the Most High's plan is. Even if Esau knew what Most High's plan is, Esau tried to come against it, but in that same instance, he'll still have to do it anyway.
Right.
So they don't want war. Well, the people, they don't want war. The elites, they want it because they want to just like the phoenix, they want to rise out the ashes.
Right.
Right? They want to rise out of the ashes. And be the the solution to the problem.
Right.
You know, that order of Kale. But the Lord is using that conflict for his purposes.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So they're trying to swindle the Lord. They're like, we're gonna move in the way of prophecy to turn back. Nah. What's the scripture say?
It says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
That's right. The Lord turneth it whithersoever he will. Not you. You know? Nah. We're gonna go this way just like the prophecy says. And we're gonna what do you call? We're gonna make a U-turn. We're gonna pivot. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's their method for ruling the world. That's their method for ruling the world. Because the power is in the word of the Lord. They know it. So they'll go by what the scripture says for the most part and then pivot. So this is where you get that confusion comes in. You be thinking they doing righteously, but they ready to, it goes back to that serpent, man, or, his rust have not all been together, wiped away. Going back to him being that slippery serpent, but he's not smarter than the Lord. Esau wants to believe himself to be, but he's not. He believes the Lord to be arcane. That word is archaic, ancient, what's another word for it?
What's that?
Arcane or archaic. There's another word, simplistic.
Yeah.
He believes the Lord to be simple.
Vice versa.
You're right. It is vice versa, man. The Lord's got him in the trick bag. He thinking he can jump out of that bag that the Lord has him in. All right.
Yeah.
But that's it on that. What you got? What we got? Let's read that one. No, not that. What we got? I was there for Ezekiel 29.
Yeah, that was Ezekiel 29.
Con. All right, let's check what we got on the comment board. All right. Y'all brothers got something real quick? Well, I think it's something. You got something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna read Psalms 2.
Oh, yeah,
While they
right,
read their age, because y'all was talking about.
Psalms 2?
Yeah.
You got it.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Mm-hmm.
The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision.
That's right. Because of all their plotting, man, it's gonna be vanity. Everything they're gonna do is in vain, man. It's just for naught, because the Lord's gonna have His people be the rulers on planet Earth, right? He's gonna ultimately redeem His people, and at the end of it all, these people that plotted against, excuse me, the children of Israel, they're gonna be had in derision. So it's all gonna backfire on them. They want to have the children of Israel in derision and to cut them off from being the people. But the Lord's going to have them in derision. All right, and they're going to have to be reestablished as certain nations. What they're going to their philosophies is going to be destroyed. Their idols is going to be brought down. So everything that they know themselves as a people, they're going to be cut off in actuality. So no longer are they going to be calling themselves Southeast Asians, East Asians. No, Slovakia. East Indians. They ain't going to be calling themselves East Indians no more. They're going to be calling themselves Elam. It's going to go back to Elam. They're not going to be calling themselves white anymore. They're going to be the Edomites. All right? Ham isn't going to call himself African. He ain't going to be calling himself that. He's going to call himself Ham. We're going to get back to the rightful names. All right? The rightful order in the world. Ishmael ain't going to be calling himself, I mean, he pretty much know he Ishmael. Yeah. He know he Ishmael. But he think the new the blessing has been moved on to the Muslims, to Islam. He think the blessing has been moved on to the true Muslims, all right, because the children of Israel took it for granted. So he gonna find out real quick that he ain't got shit to do with the blessing from the Lord. You know, he's gonna be one of the worst. He's gonna get one of the worst punishments, all right, because he was the second worst nation against Israel. All right, the first being Esau. So he's gonna be down there too. All his women gonna be taken up, and they got some beautiful women. And all their women gonna be taken up, bro. They ain't gonna have nothing. They're gonna have to get with Edomite women. Shit, that's what they wanted in the first place, right? That's what they want now. They want the Edomite women. And then they're gonna bring back Ishmaelite children out of those Edomite women. And Esau gonna be done away with. And eventually it's gonna be the last Edomite. I can't wait till that day, man. This is the last Edomite. You know? And all of Israel, we're gonna have like a little celebration, man. Brothers gonna be coming from different planets. We want to see this Edomite get put to death. This right here was what's his name? Eleanor Rothschild, you know, one of the Rothschilds. This right here, you know, was Antiochus Epiphanes, you know. It's time for him to get put to death. We're gonna have him sit there all day. Hey, we might have him sitting there for a good 7 days. Just put me to death already. We're gonna have him suffer.
Trial of his peers gonna be all Israelites.
That's right. Hey, first we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna have dinner. We're gonna have a feast. All of that. And then we're gonna put him to death, man. Hey, it's gonna be beautiful. That's gonna be the last Edomite. You know, it's going to be a list of his sins, his past lives, all of that, all his crimes.
Just like you had to do to Jake in court.
They gon- for the sin of blasphemy, guilty. You know, all guilty, down the line. Murder, guilty. Adultery, guilty. Incest, guilty. You know, all of that.
Feeding the swine, all this shit.
You know, eating of forbidden meat, guilty. You know, homosexuality, guilty.
Feeding the Sabbath, all of this.
All,
Yeah.
all of that, bro. It's gonna be a 7-day list, bro. Hey, Slocky. But what else we got, man?
That's a long list.
This, oh, you got a little bit more?
We got time.
We got time.
We have the time.
We got all the time.
We have the time.
Got time
right
today.
there. Yes, sir.
He going, and that's the crazy part too.
Yes, sir.
Because I think it was Antiochus Epiphanes that made that statement. He realized he actually tried to repent to the Lord for all the shit that he done. Yeah, that's the crazy
The
part.
Lord
about
didn't
it.
allow him.
He didn't allow him. He killed his ass, man. You got something, brother, or
Let's see.
I can
Job
wait.
27 and 13. This is the portion of a wicked man without power, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Verse 15. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver.
God, that's why it says, you know, he that killeth with the sword shall die by the sword. You see, Esau, you know, he put us in slavery, and we're currently in these Edomites' hands to this very day. That's why it's known as, what is it, the house of the thief. All right, because he touched the precious gems and stones of the Lord. So the Lord is going to come back in his second coming, and who's currently in rule? These Edomites, which is known as the end of the world. And he's going to kill all, you know, the regular Edomites, but reserve the international banking families for last, and take them into slavery. And that's going to be the wicked's portion. All right, just like Lamentations 4 come to mind. You know, our iniquity is almost accomplished. That's why you see Israel slowly but surely moving up, and Esau, you know, coming down. And it says Babylon shall not be healed. What's evident of that? Again, Israel is at war because they're not the chosen people, which is according to prophecy. And what else? These other different countries are not using the American dollar, this currency, like the brother mentioned. They're creating their own currency, the ruble, you know, the central banking digital currency.
Right, Chinese yuan,
Con.
the gold yuan.
So no. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, you got it.
So nobody respects America no more. Nobody looks at America as the lady of kingdom. Well, she is called the lady of kingdoms, but she's not going to be called tender and delicate no more, because America is decaying. It's going downhill. And again, this is all a part of prophecy. That's why I got this scripture right here. Isaiah 34 and 16. It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord, and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them.
That's right.
So it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord, the Bible. All right, the words of prophecy that are meant to be fulfilled. They're not meant to be cast away. All these things are going to happen. Again, Esau is a simple man. He's a carnal man, and he's going to use the thing that he knows best, the sword, the blessing that he was given. But as for Yasharallah, God damn shit, Salaki.
Lord.
As for Jacob, man, our blessings are coming. Okay, I lost my whole train of thought. God damn.
Just saying that Edomite
Salaki,
man in women's clothing, man. Can't make this shit up, man. This place is through, walking like she normal. I mean, he normal. See? You know, all this confusion.
God
This is
damn.
straight up confusion.
That just blew the whole train of thought. Yeah,
You know?
nothing about to mention.
This,
God damn,
this
bro.
place is out of control, man. And it's these Edomites, bro. They're the plague on planet Earth, man. They promote that bullshit.
Fucking
You know, you got our women twisted because they're the weaker vessel. Hey, but the Lord's gonna put a spirit on the whole earth, man, and they're gonna put this man down. Esau needs to be put down, cause his ways are contrary. His ways are unto death.
right.
Right? We're trying to be eternal. We're trying to have life. We can't have life with this man ruling, right? Because as the king is, so is the people.
Right.
All right? And the true believers of Yahweh Shem Yashai is not going to let Esau be set above us. He's not going to be set up as a king and a ruler over us, man. He's not of our people. And the men of our people that's in government, they ain't our people either, man.
Right.
They some suckers. And we tired of this sucker ass shit, man. Seriously, bro. Salakia, hey, that's out of control.
Right. That's
Dude look like a damn a goblin. Dude look like a straight up demon, a goblin, bro.
fucking
Like if you go into the y'all ever seen that TV show Halloween on Disney Channel? I mean, it's a movie.
yeah.
He looked like one of them characters that can transform into like a freaking monster, bro.
You remember the thing they used to draw in school where they said if you look at it one way, it looks like a young woman, and if you look at it another way, it looks
Yeah,
like
that's a fucking witch.
the nose.
Yeah. Hey, demonic creatures, bro.
That's witchcraft, man. Yeah, that's
This is what America, and we getting close to that demonic holiday. We getting close to that demonic holiday, and these demons come out, man. And it's supposed to be the holy city. There ain't nothing holy about this place.
right. Right.
This place is through. You know, a ball, man. Let this place be destroyed.
This place, like the brother's going into, is a place of confusion. And reason why the Lord's going to destroy America, that great city, America, which is built on witchcraft and whoredoms and wicked philosophies, is because we live in a world that's filled with immorality. All right, and there you go to the law. There's a whole chapter. There's actually 2 chapters, I think, that deals with immoral acts, which are abominations. And what did Sodom and Gomorrah practice? Immoral acts, abominations. So the Lord is going to destroy this place in 1 hour. All right, that's why you got okay. Go.
No, go ahead.
Nah, it just we live in an immoral place, man. This is not a rest. Yeah, that's all, man.
So what we was getting to, let's get Revelation 18 and 1. All right, because this is what we were ultimately getting to. All right, because the Lord is going to gather the nations. Right, we read that in Zechariah 3. All right, he's going to gather the nations for the conflict of Israel. All right, and that conflict is ultimately really the rulership on the planet Earth. Because Israel has that birthright, that service to the Lord, all right, to rule planet Earth and set it right, as it is in heaven. But Esau's been taking that, has taken that power on Earth, and he has to be put down, because he made the whole Earth to be drunken. Let's get it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was light, and the earth was lightened with his glory.
That's right.
And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen
Mm-hmm.
and has become the habitation of devils.
So we mentioned the 200 million missiles that's gonna hit America, Babylon, and Great. All right, when these nations, their armies are destroyed because the Lord returns and destroys their armies. All right, they're gonna have a fit. So you did this, America, and all your meddling, all your deceiving and you doing what you want to do. You did this. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna send missiles to America, Babylon the Great, and at that time, the angel's gonna say, "Babylon the Great has fallen. Babylon has fallen." All right, that great city. Go ahead.
And it's become the habitation of devils.
It has become the habitation of the devil. So, hey, what does the Lord promise, man? He promised the fowls of the earth, they're going to have a feast. He says, come to my feast. Why? Because he's going to have many dead bodies. He's going to have many dead bodies for these beasts on the earth. Come the habitation of devils and what?
And it's become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit.
In the hold of every foul spirit. Go ahead.
And a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
That's right. So that's what it's getting to. All right, the beasts of the earth, they're going to have a field day with all this flesh that's being destroyed on planet Earth. Hey, figuratively and figuratively, spiritually, and realistically, they're gonna have a feast. It's gonna be a large feast for the beasts on the earth, man. They're gonna come from miles away. They're gonna come from one coast in another country, all the way to America, Babylon the Great, just so they can eat off the flesh of these people, man. And it's not just going to be America, Babylon the Great. Valley of Jehoshaphat, that's what's going to happen too. There's a train in the background, Salaki, it's hard to hear. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Are the kings of the earth have committed fornication with this woman? Go ahead.
And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Man, everything comes through America, man. Like, you go to another nation, and what they wearing? They're wearing American products. They're wearing Converse, right? They're wearing Levi. They're wearing Nike. What's some other American? They American shit. They got Mustangs overseas. That Mustangs in the UK. That's a foreign car in the UK. I got the foreign. Yeah, we say we got the foreign. We got the Mercedes. We got the Ferrari. You know, they say they got the foreign. They got American-made vehicle. They got that Mustang, that American horsepower, American muscle. They got the Challenger. You know, that's probably illegal on these streets. But that Mustang, I know for sure they got the Mustang. I know they ain't got that Demon, bro. They ain't got that Demon. Probably Germany got that. But, so they love America for its markets. Because America has become a consumer-based country. Also, so countries become rich off of it. China, they became rich off of it. They bought a bunch of American debt. They also sold a bunch of cheap products to America. Cheap products that they use child labor to make. And that they extort people in Africa for, countries in Africa for. So all these countries, they got rich off of America. American markets you got the World Trade Center, what's it called, Wall Street. Everything's run through that place. All the world's wealth is ran through that place. And they got rich off of it. Go ahead up.
It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins.
That's right. And the Lord called on to us, right? Right before the missiles hit, the Lord called out to us, and those that were written in the book of life, they were beamed up, man. They were beamed up into the chariots. You got it.
And that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Lord hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you.
And what happened, man? The missiles hit, boom. All right, go ahead.
And double unto her, double according to her works.
That's right.
In the cup which she hath filled, filled to her double.
Mm-hmm.
How much she hath gloried herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow.
That's right. This person, hey, she was prideful, man. I'm a queen. I'm a queen. I'm a queen, not a king. A queen, and am no widow, man. Go ahead.
I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
Shall see no sorrow. Go ahead.
Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai who judgeth her.
And that's the ultimate destruction for America, Babylon the Great. All right, and to start it off, to kick it off, is that conflict in Israel, right? Because they're all fighting for who's the rightful people to be in that land, and none of them are, except if you're an Israelite. But if you sitting there, you're an Israelite, but you thinking you're a Gazan, or you an Israelite and you thinking you're an Israeli, you ain't Israel. You ain't the Israel of the Most High. You just missile fodder. You just missile food, man. You just gonna be put down right with the rest of those people, and you're gonna continue on thinking you those people until death, and then you're gonna realize, oh shit, I was an Israelite. You know, and that's what's gonna happen. You might come back into the kingdom 100 years later, but you're gonna be in your right mind. You know, the Lord is about to make a cleanse, man. He's cleansing this world, this earth. All right, because as much as we see green in the trees, man, this place ain't really living, man. This place ain't really living. All right, and the ones who are written in the book of life, man, they're gonna conquer death and be the first fruits to Yahweh Shai. I mean Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. So with that, you know, that was pretty much it for today's camp. Y'all brothers got anything else? You got something, brother? How about y'all two? Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, we went through the spirit. Lord willing, this camp was edifying. We went into some scriptures brothers and sisters may know, and we went deeper into it, Lord willing. And with that, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. All right, shalom.